Hi there, this is Carrie from Stamp with CT. Happy Wednesday, happy Facebook Live Day. I will give just a minute for hopefully some notifications to go out. See if some people will be able to join me, I hope so. But if you're catching this part of the video and watching the replay, welcome. Glad to have you here with us today. It is what, the 28th of February, 2024. That's just crazy town. Can't believe how fast this year is flying right by. So, but we get an extra day of February this year with leap year, so that's exciting. Extra day to craft, right? If you have an extra day, do some crafting. So while I wait to see if some people can hop on, just want to let you know about our crazy Texas weather. Yesterday, I believe it got up to 85 or 86 degrees. It was absolutely beautiful. I didn't get to really go outside in the beautiful weather. I was working, but I think it got that warm. And today, woke up to the 40s. So crazy. But it's a good day then to be in the house doing some of those, domestic things like laundry and sweeping and changing the bed. But we also have to get some crafting on too. So Oliver is here with me this morning, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I see some people are able to hop on, and that is exciting. So let's get busy with our project today. So if you saw that we were going live at 10 o'clock, you saw we're using scraps, and then again in the description of this video. So we have been really good about using our scraps. Years ago, I started a class in December that was focused on using scraps of our DSP and cardstock. We wanted to really utilize the supplies that we purchased, and we used our scraps. We've gotten just so good at that the past couple years I haven't done that class in December. We've done something else. So I had some scraps of this gorgeous Nature's Sweetest designer series paper, and I wasn't going to let them go to waste. I will tell you a little bit about my thought process behind this today. This is kind of a jumping off point. So many of you know that I was kind of down for the count with some neck pain a couple weeks ago. I didn't craft for about a week and a half, and I'll tell you, you get kind of rusty when you haven't been in your craft room. So we all go through this if we're super tired, if there's been something emotional going on, if we, are under stress. It's hard to craft and be creative. So we have to give ourselves a little bit of grace and a little bit of patience. But it's also good sometimes to just scale things back, use a limited amount of supplies or color palette, use some scraps. Just taking those scraps and transforming them into something pretty makes you feel good about yourself. You create a gorgeous card. And so I think that that can really be a jumping off point. So this is the project that I created with those Nature's Sweetest designer series paper scraps. But this is just something to show you what can be done. Of course, nothing new under the sun. This is something we've probably done before. You've seen other crafters make, but it's just using up those little strips of designer series paper. I can give you some measurements, but I can guarantee you if you've made cards in the last couple months, you've got scraps of paper. And so think about the fact that you don't have to follow the measurements that I'm using. These strips do not have to be symmetrical on your piece of cardstock. They don't even have to be on a piece of cardstock. They can be glued directly to your card base. They don't have to be the same length. You don't have to have the same border. You just do whatever you want to do. One of the girls at work, I tell her, you do you, boo-boo. So just do you and what looks good to you and use up those scraps. That's the fun of this. So let me show you the products that we're using today. First of all, the 29th, tomorrow is the last day of celebration. So this is our free gift with purchase promotion that Stampin' Up does January and February. Tomorrow is the very last day to spend $50 and be able to choose something at the $50 level from this little brochure as your free gift. Now, there are also some other items. If you go to stampwithct.stampinup.net, my online store, you'll find some other items there that you can pick up. There's some designer series papers, there's ribbon, embellishment. So you can select from that. $50 increments that you spend before tax and shipping. But tomorrow's it, so don't miss out on that if you have your eye on something. This is the stamp set that I'm using that's a celebration item. Heartfelt Hellos. I love the fonts in this set, but what really draws me to this set is its versatility. You've got something for dad, something for mom. You've got an Easter greeting, the hello, enjoy your day, which is great for a birthday, especially for masculine projects, and then also a love sentiment. So this is a real versatile, kind of all occasion. There's not a thinking of you, but you know, you could use this for so many different projects. So I love sets like that. It is red rubber, and I really like red rubber stamps. I know I'm kind of old school, but it gives you such a crisp image, and the sentiments just look so good with the red rubber. Now, I also am using the Nature Sweetest. Let me grab my mini catalog and show you. On page 40, you'll find a lot of samples from Stampin' Up! With these products. And then 41, you see the components in this suite. I don't have the stamps and dies. It's one of those that has the double stamp die bundles, and I didn't pick those up. I have the paper, embellishments, and the trim, but I don't have those stamp sets. So that's part of the reason why I'm using that celebration, but you can see them on those following pages. They're lovely. I can't have everything, y'all. I want everything, but I can't have it. So if you pick that up, it's a beautiful. We're using the designer series paper, Nature Sweetest. This has a very small color palette. It's gold, white, pebbled path, and pecan pie. So this is going to help us keep things simple but beautiful as we use this designer series paper. Isn't it gorgeous? And my mind is really going to memory keeping here lately. Just scrapbooking with papers like this, it makes that super simple too. You're just able to put a couple focal images, your pictures, you can mat them if you want to, but the paper really lends itself to like a wedding or fancy event. This is just really, really pretty. Okay, let's talk about how to create this card. We are going to grab our card base, which is a thick basic white card base. And I like to use the thick basic white. I love that we have that option for my card bases because, you know, we pile on things to the front of our card, and I want this to still feel substantial when people open it up. So I like using the thick basic white, but you could use any color card base. Then this time I've got a piece of pecan pie cardstock, and I think I'm actually going to lay it right up here so I can see better when I'm gluing my pieces on. Now don't forget, you don't have to use the measurements that I am using. I'm just telling these to you so it makes it a little bit easier if you want to recreate something like this. This piece of pecan pie is 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And then this first piece is 4 3/4 by 1 3/4. And of course, you've got options, which side you want to use. I'm going to go with the gold. And I think that what I may do too is mix up where I place those strips. Have the wider piece in the middle there. I'm going to probably move one over this time. Move it over. And then I've got a couple more pieces of designer series paper here. And again, you know, 2 sides, but I think I'm going to go with this floral side. And it's 4 3/4 by 1 inch. And then we've got a piece that's 4 3/4 by 1/2 inch. And again, I think I'll go with this. Kind of got that grid and maybe put that in the middle. Maybe, yeah, I think I'm going to put that one in the middle. So let's get this adhered on. That will be our first step. And with something like this, I like to do my 2 outer pieces first and then pop the one in the center because I have a little bit more control over borders that way. I've got some glue on the outside of my glue holder, y'all. Don't tell Dale. He'll clean it for me, I bet. I'm spoiled like that. I guess I should tell him, right? Okay, so we'll get this, try to get this lined up pretty good. That shiny paper may be kind of messing with the camera. Sorry about that if it is. But it's so beautiful. It's hard to put adhesive on shiny paper, but I've got to do it because we really want this floral side. So pretty. Now this would be a super easy project to recreate, and if you do, I hope you'll share a photo with us if you make one of these with your scraps. I'd love to see it. I love it when I get either comments below the video, or I sometimes get messages or emails with projects that you make. That just makes me so happy. One of my goals is to inspire others. So when you let me know that I inspired you, I really appreciate that. So here's where I can just kind of tweak this a little bit where I want it. And you know, it may not be all perfectly straight. Pretty good though, wouldn't you say? So we'll give that just a second to dry. Trying to decide which way I want to do it. We'll see. We have options. So let's do a little bit of stamping. And I'll have to think, I think this piece is 2 by 1 3/4, which makes this 2 1/4 by 2. But you, again, could do any size focal image. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to scare you. I scared Oliver. Throw my ink pad onto the table. Now I forgot what I was going to say. That was unexpected, wasn't it? So we'll stamp our hello. Anyway, you could use any kind of focal image if your paper had, you know, something you could fussy cut or die cut out. That would be fabulous. And we'll just say hello. See how straight did we get it. Sometimes looking at it upside down helps me. I think it actually looks pretty good. We'll go with that. And I just put my finger in my ink pad. Now I'm really crafting, right? So pecan pie. This is a color that is a little bit unexpected to me that I'm using as much as I am. And, you know, a lot of that I think has to do with what Stampin' Up! Is putting in the designer series papers. Because I like to draw the colors that I use from the papers. But it's a really pretty brown. And I know we Texans say pecan differently than other areas of the country, or probably the world, but we say pecan. How do you say that? We love pecans. Okay, so now before I glue this down, I want to stop and think about which way do I want this, because I really don't think the floral part matters. I think I'm going to move it over to that side. Now on my other project, I popped up this layer with some Stampin' Dimensionals. This time I'm going to glue it down, or dot, not a lot, in the corners there. And because this is 5 by 3 3/4, have a little bit bigger border all the way around. And that is just something that is pleasing to me, to my eye. Not everybody likes that. So again, you do you. Whatever makes you happy, what looks pretty to you, that's what you do. Because the people that receive the card are just going to be thrilled. Did I grab some dimensionals? It doesn't look like it. Let me get some of those right quick. Oops. Well, I lost my sentiment for just a second. I swear I can lose things. I'm sitting right here. I haven't gotten up and I can't find, you know, my scissors or my paper or something I just had in my hand. It's the craziest thing. And I know that some other people have experienced that. It's just what happens in a craft room. It's like a vortex. Oh, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Look how pretty. And it's just scraps, little scraps of designer series paper and a sentiment. And I think it's moderately straight. Okay, so on this sample, I went ahead and pulled in some iridescent rhinestones because, you know, they're shiny, they're so pretty, and it just went with this card. This time, I'm going to bring in some of the gold, what are these called? Sequins, that's what they're called. I thought that would be really pretty with this. So that's what we're gonna do. Oops. Let me pull them out a little bit. See if we can get underneath that adhesive with our Take Your Pick tool. And again, just going to sprinkle them on. I want to probably come over here on that floral part, and I probably won't use quite as many on this card. Who knows? We'll get going here with sequins and see what it needs. It tells us what it needs, doesn't it? Oh, let's go ahead and go for it. We'll put a couple down here too. Now, I'm pretty sure these are still active, current sequins. I just have quite a few sequins in my collection. These are the pastel adhesive back sequins. I love that they have the adhesive backing. Makes it so much easier. But if you don't have those, there's other sequins that you can add. But just adds just a little bit more shine, a little bit more interest. Thought those were really, really pretty. Now, I wanted to share with you, I hope you like these projects. Let me know what you think. And I hope that you'll recreate something like this and use your scraps up. That really is my intent today, is to encourage you and inspire you to create and to create something pretty with your scraps. And move those out of the way. And I'll show you that this has cork embellishments, this suite of products. And they're really cool. Now, these are good to pair along with masculine cards, I think. I love having something like this in the catalog, in my collection, because I've used this with the trusty Toolbox designer series paper, and it works really well. And it also has this faux leather trim that has some gold flecks. Really pretty as well. I didn't use those today, but, you know, you certainly could with these projects too. Okay, I have a couple of announcements. I'm going to move these out of the way. First up, I do have a really pretty card I want to share with you, and this came from my friend Becky, and it's a Valentine. She used, and it's a shaker card, y'all. I hope you can hear that. It's really cute. She used a clear envelope, which is such a cool technique to make this shaker card. It's like an easy, fast shaker card. But she did a beautiful job. And I know Valentine's Day is long past now, but I had this and I hadn't shared it with you, so I wanted to. Thank you, Becky. It's beautiful, Dell, and I loved it. Loved getting that little surprise in the mail. And then I have our giveaway from last week, which is a package of Stampin' Dimensionals. And to be entered for a chance to win, all you have to do is leave a comment, send up a thumbs up or heart. And Mimi Sanchez is the winner by random draw from last week. So Mimi, I know I need your address. And what I ask is that you reach out to me, either email me at stampwithct@gmail.com. You can also message me and let me know that you are claiming your prize. But you must claim your prize. You have to let me know that you are claiming your prize. So Mimi, send me your address, please. And then this week, I went ahead and pulled in a box of the mini glue dots. I thought that would be a good prize for this week. So if you want to be in the drawing, I'll give this away next week on Facebook Live. Just send me a message. Send a comment and put that thumbs up or heart. And that's all you have to do to be entered. It can be any kind of comment, letting me know what you think of the card or how you're doing, what your weather is like. Anything like that will enter you. And then a couple more announcements. We have finally Friday free online class this Friday. And we're going to be using this beautiful Poetic Expressions Designer Series paper. So let's flip through that real quick. And you can see how pretty it is, making 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs. And if you want the Make and Take packet, all the information is on my events tab of how you can be part of the Finally Friday free online class. We're using the Courage and Faith stamp set. Beautiful images and also sentiments. So we're going to make some really pretty cards, 2 each of 3 designs. I think I said that. And that's called Finally Friday. And if you want to just hang out and see what we create, then you're welcome to join us. It's on Facebook Live right here on my business page. Also want to remind you that our celebration is the 23rd of March. And in order to come to this free event, you need to qualify. And again, in my events tab, it tells you exactly how to do that as a customer. And then you're invited to come and craft with us on the 23rd, either virtually or in person. The virtual event will be after the 23rd, but I'll give you more information if you're not close to me. And we're going to just have a great time crafting and just extending celebration just a little bit. A celebration. Okay, it looks like Oliver is anxious to go outside, so we're going to go for now. Hope you enjoyed our project for today. We really appreciate you being here and all of your support of Stamp with CT. And we will see you again soon. Happy stamping!